What is up, my legends? It's Sion. We are back, and what we're going to do today is actually talk about how to start strong in Tales of Erwin. Now, I'm assuming that is Erwin or Erin, or I'm going to say Erwin because that sounds better. But this game starting out is not typically like other games because it's a little bit harder and you need to actually pay attention to a lot of things. So we're just going to start right in the beginning with your team. Now, your team has different attributes about them, and you need to pay attention to those attributes, and you need to give them weapons to go along with the particular attributes. Now, I got pretty lucky with this and the CBT, and I actually stopped playing because, like, originally I thought that the Android version was separate from the iOS because the iOS started a bit later than the Android version, but they're both together and they're both in the same CBT, so it's not global and it's gonna go down probably literally like in a few hours and it'll be back up to 6, but we can still talk about what we learned thus far. Now, you can go with Trinity with this and you can go DPS, but DPS is a little bit harder in my opinion because this game is not forgiving, and there's a few fights where they will actually key in, where the game is smart enough to key in on a weaker character. So if you have any weaker character, they're going to key in on it, and you need to have some type of tank or just a Trinity system in place to keep you benefited and just not get screwed. Now, with that said, like, we'll take Alfred for, I believe it's, no, Guilford, I'm sorry, Guilford, and I basically broke him one time, so that's where you see this awakening right here, and you see his stats and everything else like that. He became a really good tank, so he's a good guy that you can start out with. He does a lot of damage. His skills are pretty good. Like, you know, he increases max attack and HP of light characters in the party, but there's no other light characters, so it's just him. So you just want to worry about increasing this stat just for him so he become more tanky. Same thing goes with his passive, Knight of the Platinum. When HP is lower, a specific gain a barrier of life, which is very good because when he starts to get that, like, that barrier is just sick. His damage is pretty good for a tank as well. And like I was telling you, you want to definitely try to have an element. I did not have a light element, so I just went with the next best thing. And you want to actually upgrade those particular items because they give you HP and they give you attack. So even if you don't have the light element, just use whatever your best item is. The game in the beginning gives you a lot of stuff free, so take full advantage of that and level these particular items up. And they give you the story and everything else. In this game, I would, in my opinion, and I know people are going to disagree, in my opinion, because the game hits you so hard, in the beginning I went 2 tanks, a DPS, and a healer. So you see, I pretty much have Guilford, and then I got this second 5-star tank, which is pretty good, which is Reniscan. And, you know, she's a centaur, but what she did initially is, again, increase the attack and defense of water characters in the party, which I did have a second water character, which is pretty good, and then reduce damage received and increase when attacked, and, you know, it pretty much is stackable. So I had 2 tanks that are pretty much tanky, and they're going to take those hits because the game hits you a lot, and I think that's where the difficulty came in with people because they weren't used to that being that fast in the game. Like, well, this is like pretty fast. The game got a little bit edgy on you, so I worked it out. The next tactic I had is characters who knock back or knock out. She is pretty good for that because she knocks back, as you see, and she's invulnerable during the charge, which is even more sexy. Like, that's just crazy. Like, this skill, this active charge alone, this skill alone is broke. And then her first skill does it as well. What knockbacks do, and I'll show you guys right now. We'll go to a battle. We'll do this. I'll show you how good knocking back does, because there is a combo system in this game. What knockback does is it takes 3 to 4 seconds out of a fight for the enemy, and that's 3 to 4 seconds that you can recharge on stuff and they're not hitting you. So that's mitigation damage right there. That's extra damage that you can put out because the enemy can't hit you. Alright, so there you see my pretty much my healer did knock back. Now she's knocking up now. Alright, there's the heal on that. Again, you see my back row never gets touched. And then now they're just knocked down and screwed. And she does it as well. So you see, he's popped in the air. He never had a chance to really do anything. See that? Like, they never can hit me. That gives a healer a chance to heal. This is also good in PvP. So keep all this in mind. Like, I'm almost sad that I have to lose this team because this team is just the synergy in this team just works so well. Like, this almost makes, like, you can pretty much auto without any type of trouble. As soon as I saw what type of game this was, I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. I need to either stun or I need to knock these enemies up. Sexy. See, I'm just looking like I don't have to control this. There's nothing for me to do because they can take care of themselves. Now she's gonna come in and knock them up. And then my healer comes and does it. They're kind of surrounded, but it doesn't matter. They're fine. Just try to have yourself a team similar to this. It doesn't. You probably won't necessarily always get this team, but if you want to reroll to try to get, you don't need the damage dealer. You don't necessarily need her. You can put anybody there, but these three people I would suggest re-rolling for because they basically make autoing like super easy. Like, you see her just knocking them down. Now she's gonna come in behind that and knock them down some more. And she combos really well. Like, see, he's just stuck in the air again, and then she's ready to knock him back again. Like, this is like not a lot the enemy can do. Like, you see my tank, even though she has a stackable defense up, she's still taking damage. If I wasn't knocking these guys back, they would probably do a lot of damage to me. And this is like only wave 2. So I think this is kind of where people were complaining, saying that the game is a little bit hard. It's not hard, it's just you need to understand how to use the game. It's not typical, like you just bash. That's not going to work for you in this game. You have to actually use the mechanics in the game. You have to use knockback. You got to use stun. You have to use invulnerability states. They have a lot of that stuff. Like, I should have you should get the fire chick. She's pretty legit. She's a dragon mage anyway, so why not get a dragon? It's a dragon. I would say level to like level 15 if you want to just go hard and then just summon all at one time. But rerolling at least try to get one of these two tanks. In my opinion, you need two tanks in the front. Unless you're just gonna overpower DPS wise, which that's a little bit hard in this game, as you can see. You can do it. I lost according to time. So there you go. I actually wasn't paying attention to the time. I could have did something about that, but there you go. As far as what you should and shouldn't be doing. So pretty much what I had to do at this point is go back and start limit breaking the rest of my characters and get a little bit more DPS, and I'll take that out just fine. But it's good to know that I can probably just limit break my fire girl and she'll increase most of the DPS or get a better weapon for her. Alright, so the actual enhancing, I'm looking at enhancing, but the actual growing a character, every character has an element, and individually you can get all those elements right here. So pay attention to that. Then you have the enhancing materials as far as, like, you know, this is coin, when you need coin. And Star World. Now Star World is a little bit interesting because you actually, I could do this. Thank you. You can get individual items in Star World, but you have an Explorer level, and as you unlock your Explorer level, that allows you to do more of these particular items, which you see this is member recruitment and getting more currency on top of that. You also have the Forest Trial, which gives you the awakening items, as you can see right there. Definitely want to pay attention to those. Let me take all those. Again, you see my Explorer level going up. And now I'm at 3. Alright, to get the higher level, like these are the more mid-tier ones, you need to be Explorer level 20, which really isn't all that hard. And you see you have 30 chances per day to actually do this. You have the star elements, which again is more awakening and items that you need to level your characters. And then you have the floating ruins, which I believe this is the highest tier ones. Alright, so we back out. You have your guild, which I actually made a guild, but there's no point right now, unfortunately. You can use the guild to actually go in and do infinity wave stuff, where you can just go in and just fight and enjoy yourself a little bit, get some rewards. As you can see, this is the rewards that you get for actually doing that. You have your shop right here. Of course, you go in, you can top up all you want. An item shop, which is for the currency right there. You have your secret shop. See there, and you have your Jade Exchange. Now, I think Jade Exchange is basically for you spending your currency, and then you get the Jades. And you have Massive Battle, which is your multiplayer. Multiplayer is a little bit hard, so definitely if you wanna quick join on people, you can. This is suggested level 70. Bro, who's in there at level 70? You were trying too hard. It's CBT. The hell are you doing? Anyway, yeah. Then you also have Workshop. When this loads, get out of here. Workshop allows you to actually craft different individual things as you get parts, as you can see right there. So I can make this rare costume, which is pretty good. Let's do that now, because I just ignored it. Just to show you guys. So now I have that rare costume. You have a fire one right here. Alright, let me see. How much is quick? Oh, no. I had read up on this, and I never actually saw the time limit. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not worth it. Just let it go. Let's take that. Some more jade. 4-2. Also pay attention. Like, I don't have to tell you guys to pay attention to your achievements, do I? Like, do I? I don't think so, right, guys? Nah, we don't have to do that. All right. My suggestion in summoning, depending on what's going to be there, it's probably going to be these banners, but I did not get Mirafuse, so it's a thing. I did not like Kulasha because she didn't knock up, but Mirafuse looks like she'd be a pretty good healer. Yeah. As far as here, I did get Mao. As you guys could see, Mao was devastating. Like, she hits really hard. She's definitely a good one. So if you want to actually go, and I did get the healer, as you can see too, I would definitely suggest re-rolling. If this banner is the one that's still there, I would re-rolling until you get the healer. The healer, at least, and two tanks that are strong, 4 or 5 star. But this healer Valor right here, get Valor. Valor is the ish. I'm re-rolling until I get Valor. She's just that good. She's a definite must. And we'll just do something, because this obviously doesn't matter account right now. All right, so I already had her already. She's the base one that you get. See what we get. Okay, she's again another base one that you get, and we'll do that. Alright, they went dramatic again on us just to give us a base. And other than that, you should be good to go from here. You should be fine. You have no problems. No problems. Alright, so I will catch you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in game, because this is going to be fun too. Between this and Epic 7 and Knights Chronicle, and probably Destiny Knights, I'm probably not going to play any of the other games anymore. Especially with Epic 7. Epic 7 is just... whoo! That game is lit. That game is lit. If that's the way games are gonna start being from now on, I'm all for that. Make games like that from now on. Make clones of that. I had no problem playing clones of that game. Be legendary. I'll catch you guys next video. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Links in the description. Be legendary.